it's Carrie, So Much Glitter. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel and go ahead and hit the little notification bell so you're notified when I come out with new videos. Happy World Card Making Day. Depending on where you are in the world, I might be like your encore, because I know World Card Making Day has been going on all day, and Craft Roulette had the greatest stuff going on over on her channel. Bitty Penny did a live this morning that I jumped onto. So many card makers have done so many great videos and lives in celebration of today, so I wanted to keep that going. I wanted to create my Craft Roulette card today for World Card Making Day, because why not? What's more perfect than doing that in Mary's honor? And I'm going to keep it a little bit spooky because it is the season of spooky. So I'm having so much fun utilizing my paper book, the Witchcraft collection. I've just been going through it, been putting all like my spooky goodies in here that I've collected. I've been doing a journal out of it. I have some transparencies. I just have so much stuff going on. I have things going on from Sweet Pea Curiosities, and everything is just fitting perfectly together. So I want to create my Craft Roulette card out of the paper book. And I did kind of choose a few things out of the book already. So let's go ahead and go through those, and then we'll go through the parameters and we'll get creating. Okay, so before we get going around the craft table, don't forget to get your favorite drink, your favorite snack. I have a nice cool drink going for today because I've already been up and running around this morning. I'm going to take a sip of that before we get going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log on to Craft Roulette, and I'm going to do my member login. And I think I remember the parameters, but I am not for sure. So let's go to submit a contribution, and all of my notifications are coming up. So bear with me for that. Amanda Stevens was on last night. I got to catch a little bit of that when I got home from work. So the project is saying hi. The colors are crisp. The element is sun or sunnies, and the random is penance. So I'm going to get really creative with this one today because I want to keep it in my spooky realm. I think I want to do a 5x7 card, but I brought out my A2 card base just in case, but I like the real estate that the 5x7 card gives me. So I have pulled out a few pages last night when I was watching Craft Roulette that I think can fit with these parameters. So I'm going to use this as the background, and I'm going to use this neutral color in the back as my crisp color, because my crisp color, I Googled it. It could be nice, clean colors, bright, airy colors, depending on how you want to do that. So in the whole paint palette at like Home Depot or whatever, crisp colors would be like neutral colors. That's what I'm going to utilize for my background. So that's why I want to do the 5x7, because I want to get as much of this like fun little haunted scene in there as I can. And for the hello part, I want to use this on my card, and then I want to put this over it and maybe trim this down just a little bit. So we're saying hey to whoever the recipient is, and it's a nice sunny sky behind them, depending on how we want to interpret that, right? And then for my pennant, bear with me, I am in my stretchy pants, so I'm getting those going, really stretching out those parameters. I want to do one of these pumpkin stickers, and pennant shapes are like a triangle, right? So we could have that in an actual banner if we want the pennant shape that way, or we can put the pennant shape however we want on our project, because this is our art project, right guys? So I don't know, I think I want this sticker. I kind of compared that, but I like that. We will see what happens. I really like this. So let's just get to trimming first, okay? So we don't need to sit here and talk about how we're going to stretch the parameters all day long. I know you guys have probably had a long day of creating. You're excited just to relax around the craft table and watch some creativity. So I'm really excited to take part in World Card Making Day. This is probably my 3rd year in a row of doing this. Of just like, normally I clear the schedule and I craft all day long. But today isn't so much like that. I have a few appointments going. I have some homework. You know, I have some stuff around the house. I have a lot going on today, but do not fear because I am going to be making time for card making regardless. Okay, so I'm trimming this down to 5x7. This is directional, so I need to be mindful of that. And this is what I'm trimmed down to. And this is just going to fit perfectly on my card base. I'm just going to have this take up the whole space because I like it. And then I do want to trim this down. I really like this because I wanted to do just say hi because it's a hi. But I really, really like this. I do like this too. This is really pretty, but there's more of this in there and there's not more of this. So that's what I'm going for, the hay, because then we're going to trim down the part that we won't miss as much. I am just kind of haphazardly trimming that down because I was going to be trimming that down a lot to begin with. I'm aware of that, so I'm not going to get real fussy about that, but I am going to trim off the border. We just want to make sure we get that hay in there, right? And we have enough space to fill up our little card. I am going to trim this little card down as well. I might leave this a pocket so we could kind of slip in a note if that's what we wanted to do, because this leaves it for lined paper. I don't know yet, but these are perforated. Everything in the paper is perforated, so you could just tear it out. I don't tend to like to use the perforated part. It just looks uneven to me, so I just trim that off just a tad. And you could use like a decal edge trimmer, just scissors, however you want. But not every part is perforated. It's just where it tore out of the book. So we're just gonna tear this off just a little bit. I kind of tore it, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just going to trim off the little excess right there. Yeah, it's just a minute. So I would like to know, what did you guys do for World Card Making Day? Did you guys participate in any YouTube lives? Did you watch any of your fun creators? What did you create yourself? Like, let me know in the comments below. So this does have a hole in the top, so we could do like a bow or something like that. I could put a grommet in there. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick this right down on the card. I opted out of making the pocket because I do want to trim this down just to make this a little bit more of like a border. So we still get the hay in there, right? So I just want to make sure that that is like that. And then we're going to want to trim this down. I am going to go ahead and post this in Craft Roulette. So hopefully you're able to watch it from there. And obviously it's on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be posting it in, on my Instagram. So you'll have plenty of chances to see what's going on for World Card Making Day. I did do a little bit of a countdown. I probably could have centered that up just a little bit more, but I'm not going to get too fussy about those lines because I'm probably going to ink up around it. And so it's okay. Oh, now I trimmed it way down, didn't I? It's okay for it to get on. Like, let's have it look a little bit funky. So now it's going to look a little bit funkier because I didn't quite keep that border because I just was trimming away, right? Trimming away, but it's okay. We can make it look a little bit more even. And I think that's getting into the card stock right there. I know a lot of people, I've talked about this before, there's a lot of the card stock in this paper, and I love that as a card maker, to be honest with you. I absolutely love it. So we're going to leave it like this. This is going to be our hay. This is probably just going to be right here like this. We could make this a pocket, stick in and out a note. I'm probably going to pull something else out of the paper book, but let's start gluing down. This is going to be a fairly quick card because I did pull out the elements last night, which is a lot of fun. I like to do that when I watch Craft Roulette. I am on the West Coast, so I'm Pacific Daylight Time right now, and I am still driving home from work. Normally when Mary comes on and we get to see all of the creators. So I kind of turn that on the way home as like a podcast or something. And I like to listen to what's going on, and then the show gets started and I can kind of come in the house and then watch it from there. So I don't always have the energy to create a card after work like that, but I definitely do have the want to go ahead and create a card, because I think this is a lot of fun taking part in Craft Roulette. And so I do that. I'm going to leave this open for a pocket in case if that's what I decide to do. If we find something in this paper that I want to go ahead and stick in and out, I can do that. So just kind of getting my crafty supplies out, getting to know the parameters a little bit. That's a lot of fun on a Friday night for me. It gets real wild around here, as you can tell. But, you know, I have work all week. I have a family, and I'm in grad school right now. So that's as wild as I'm willing to get on a Friday night. And then I have a few fun trips coming up and the holidays, and yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I'm kind of just saving all of my energy for those events. And then that's just a pocket. So I like this because of the crisp, clean color, right? The neutral colors. I probably want to put this towards the bottom so that this is just going to solely be in the background, but I'm not worried about that. I don't really want it floating around up here because that just seems weird, but I really do like this one as well. But these are less of a triangle shape, but I could stretch the parameters for that a little bit more and justify the pennant shape on that. So I do have that option, which that's fun. I also have this option, which, man, oh man, I don't know. I think I like this one a little bit better. I think I'm going to put that one on the inside of the card. And this is just a sticker that came in the book, and I'm just sticking it down. Making it nice and simple. You're going to see the indent for the different thickness of the papers. I'm not going to worry about that. I think that that's just fine. But I really do like this, and I think that this goes with it. So I'm going to put this on the inside of the card as well. And then we can do a fun sentiment and whatever this card is going to be for. So let's pull out. This is basically my Craft Roulette card, unless if I wanted to put something up here more like a sentiment, but this is kind of our sentiment. So I kind of want to go through the paper and see if I want to, see, he could have been saying hi, right? See if I want to trim something down and have it come in and out of that pocket. Although I didn't really prepare that pocket very well, so that might be a little bit difficult, but something real fun and simple. So we're just going to flip through this really quick, and then we're going to call this a finale of World Card Making Day, guys. I hope everybody is creating something fun today and getting out in the crafty community and connecting with all the creators. That's like really a fun part of the World Card Making Day, I think, is doing that. So we have these little fun little cards that we could do. This would be fun. That would be fun too. Let's see if we can trim these down enough. I could probably trim this down enough and put it through, but this was paper and not cardstock. And this also came in the book, and this is its own card. I just think that that is so cool. Trim that down a little bit in its own card, or you could put it on a 5x7 and you have a card within a card. More the invitations like we did for my last video for my Craft Roulette that I put out just recently, actually on Thursday. I wanted to get a jump start on this a little bit earlier because I thought that it would be fun to do this for World Card Making Day. And I think I like this. This is a lot of fun because this could be a bookmark. So it's like a gift as well. And then you guys have a chance to look through the gallery through the whole week. I am going to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to get out my ruler and see how much I need to trim it down. I didn't really measure anything. I'm just kind of not worrying about that. So we're at like 2.5, and then I want it to be smaller than that, but because of how I used the glue. So let's see. Let's just see if there is something with paper. I think would be fun too. A lot of these came in with the paper book. That's fun. I just think that that's going to be a little bit too thick because I didn't prep it. These would be fun to trim down, I think, and put in and out of here, and you can slide, and then you could write like a little note. I could kind of capitalize a little bit more on the pennant shape, because I really had to use my stretchy pants for that one, I'm telling you. But I justified it. Google helped me out, and then that whole paint palette for the colors came up from Home Depot, and I was like, yep, that's what I am doing. So that's what happens. Okay, so let's just see if we can trim down that bookmark a little bit more, because I'm not going to find any other little shapes, I think, unless if I wanted to create them. This is cute too. And kind of make a bookmark, which, hey, I could do that. And I don't want to get too much in the weeds and too hooked up with that. So let me take a look at that and see if I can just make a bookmark out of a piece of paper, and we could probably write just like a fun little note, or if I can trim this down. Okay, so what I did is I just trimmed down this little bookmark. It's really, really thick cardstock. I do not know what weight it is. And then I'm just going to go ahead and slide it in here as a, and we can, as just like a little fun little bookmark. We could write a note on here. We could put a piece of paper back there to kind of cover that up. Or this is just like part of the gift, right? Like, hey, here's a gift for you. This could be birthday. This could be anything. And then that'd be the inside of the card. I'm debating if I want to put a ribbon through there or not. So I am going to unspool the ribbon and trim it down just a little bit. This might be a little bit thick. I do have a little bit of noise going on outside of me. I apologize, but it's a Saturday morning and things are going. I'm filming this before I'm watching World Card Making Day after I join Bitty Penny's live, because I have an appointment this morning, and then this will upload this afternoon. So this is why I am probably your finale, right? I'm just gonna maybe tie like a fun little ribbon, or I don't know, we'll see how I want to do that. I'm not very good at tying these ribbons, so I always like to just kind of leave it, but it can't be left, right? Especially if we want to use it. It needs to be a little bit secured on there. So let's tie the ribbon. Okay, I just simply tied the ribbon. It is fraying a little bit, which I'm not going to worry about, and I'm just going to kind of cut it at an angle for a little bit of a decorative piece. Throw that off to the side and leave it there. So that's going to be a fun little bookmark for this card. And that is going to be our 47th contribution. I have to go look. I need to start putting things away, or else I'm going to lose them, because I'm pretty famous for doing that on my desk. And since it is World Card Making Day, I need to make as much space. Yeah, let me know how you guys are celebrating World Card Making Day. I have a whole pile sitting next to me, which I did post on my YouTube, of things that I did to prepare for World Card Making Day. And my goal today with creating on this fine World Card Making Day is that I want to use my stash. I have so much in my stash, and I want to use that up. I have a lot of digitals that I do. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the back of this card, because if I don't do that now, I'll forget to do that later when I write the sentiment. I'm pretty famous for doing that, so this is probably the only stamping I do. That didn't stamp evenly because I didn't wipe off my stamp from last time, and I'm just using more of the black soot that I normally don't stamp with, but that's what I had out from my Craft Roulette card for the parameters last week. Yeah, so I want to use up as much of my stash as I can. I hope you guys have a fabulous World Card Making Day, and you get creative and you take some time for self-care this weekend. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share this with a crafty friend if they need to take some time out for self-care, and have a fabulous World Card Making Day. See you soon, guys.